All right. Hey, we're shaking, Amy. How you doing?
Amy Johnson.
Yes.
You're in trouble.
I miss working with Amy.
I do miss working with Amy.
She was so much fun. Oh, God. So this is, like we're saying, this is a podcast about the restaurant industry from all aspects of it, from regional all the way on down. It's one of the things that we belong to a couple of restaurant boards that they have about from managers and owners and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting because you could always tell who's an owner and who's a manager by some of the comments that people have.
Oh, sure, definitely.
They'll be like, I only want to hear from like a manager. I mean, from owners. These guys don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, really? That's funny because I could have swore I've made millions and millions of dollars for people. That's so strange. So this week I had what's up, Amy? One of the questions that I had posted on Facebook or on this message board was, at what point do like regionals, VPs, DMs, people who basically aren't working in the units but are in charge of them, usually a regional, ideally should only be, I think, managing anywhere between 5 to 7 stores, I would think.
Sure.
Depending on the location, how far were they apart. What tends to happen though is that a regional will end up getting at least 10 different stores. I've known regionals that had like over 15 stores over 5 different states. Which that's a long distance and a lot of area to cover and stuff. So there really wasn't. They ended up managing like seagulls, which is they fly into town, they shit all over everything, and then they fly right back out again. So my question was, at what point do they see the point of diminishing returns when it comes to labor, especially their back of house? Lately, one of the trends that I've been seeing is that they only want to be fully staffed when they're at their busiest. But the problem with that is that it's going to be difficult to find, I think, quality help only wants to work like 4 to 5 hours at night, right? You're basically looking for somebody who is only looking at you as a second job, which means they're not that invested. They're not going to care as much. They don't have as much ownership in that store. So, but when you're looking at it from a P&L spreadsheet, you're like, hey, we're saving money on this. But what happens is I've seen those kitchens, and they have a hard time staying staffed, which means they're constantly spending money on retraining. A cook that you're a chef or any position that you constantly have to retrain, you're not getting the full productivity out of it. So in this post, I'm like, all your projections that you had for that year are a total crapshoot at this point. And good luck maintaining the front of house staff, which means your servers and bartenders and stuff, if the kitchen isn't healthy, if the kitchen isn't strong, because nobody wants to work for a fucking tire fire, and wanting to know if it's going to take is it going to take 10 minutes to get their appetizer out today, or is it going to take 45 minutes to get a plate of nachos out, And it's rough because the kitchen's in a really, really rough spot. So some of the things that I saw a lot of really interesting comments on this particular thread. The majority of them were like, fuck yeah, fuck these guys. So there was this really great, interesting, contradictory view from a guy who was a regional. And I respect his point of view on this, by the way, because he seems like a really cool guy. I'm hopefully going to try to get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I want to find a way to do it so that way he's not putting the restaurant or the company that he works for under scrutiny. Because from what I understand, he works for a chain, for a franchise chain, and they're really, really. The people at the corporate office are really, really scared about getting a backlash on social media or anything like that.
Sure,
So,
I mean, as they all should be.
Yeah.
I think what it doesn't matter if you're an owner, operator, president of company, RO, DO, DM, whatever you want to call it, down to the kitchen, to the service, to the host, to the pots and pans guy. I mean, yes, we all like to stay busy while we're at work.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we all want to get our ass kicked every day, every hour, and it's hard because things diminish. If I'm a dish guy and I walk in and my dish area is full and there's dishes on the floor, pots, pans everywhere stacked up, and it's going to take me 3 hours to get caught up, I'm probably going to move my ass, try and get it done within, an hour and a half. But again, I'm going to miss steps. If I'm a server, and I'm great with a 4 to 6 table section, I can effectively do everything correct. But the minute you give me 7, 8, 9, 10 tables, I'm diminished.
Yep.
I don't care who you are. As a cook, if you range out to where you have 10 tickets at a time and you can effectively execute all of them on the line, you're great. But the minute your board blows up and you have 30 fucking tickets,
right,
man, I don't care who you are, you're going to diminish. Now, as a RO, DO, DM, whatever, a regional manager or a manager, if you have too many places that you have to be at the same time,
right,
you're going to diminish. You're going to miss steps. You're going to skip steps. As a regional, you got to figure 5, 6, 7 stores under one person is ideal, especially if they're centrally located so you can reach them. But let's face it, there are places out there where, unfortunately these guys are getting paid and having 12 to 15 locations underneath them. So between travel time and you got to figure most restaurants, you're looking, 50 to 80 employees?
right,
Four managers apiece. Look, I can manage quite a bit,
right,
but I can't manage 100 people in one day thinking I have another 500 people to manage throughout the week.
Yeah.
And effectively get it done. It's same thing with a director of operations. How many people can they manage? How many ROs can they manage?
Yeah.
If I have 20 ROs in a big company, say, and we use them a lot, but we'll use the Darden concepts.
Right.
All right. They got a ton of stores. How many district managers are taking care of regional managers? How many operation managers are taking care of district managers? Because let's think about it. Country full, most places you got anywhere, most cities, whatever else, you got, 3 to 5 of that type of chain in that location?
Right.
So that's just one city.
Yeah.
Right? How many cities are out there? Yeah, look, you're not effectively managing shit.
Yeah, it's one of those weird. We were kind of. This is a silly example, but anybody who's ever played games like StarCraft or SimCity or Civilization, you kind of know that when you only have, especially with Civ, all of them, it's the same thing that happens in every single game, or SimCity. When you have a small little, you start from nothing and you start growing, that's really cool. But when you get to a point where you have 4 or 5 cities, all right, you're still managing things pretty well. When it gets to 25 cities and a couple of countries and stuff,
you're putting out fires.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you're doing. So it's weird, the concept of this whole exponential growth that they want to keep doing. And we understand the frustration. If somebody wants to be a multimillionaire and they're not going to be able to do it with one restaurant, it's possible over time, if you establish yourself, depending on how things go. But for the most part, they're like, all right, I need at least 7 restaurants in order to make the money that I want to make, and they just keep expanding and expanding and expanding. And I'm like, man, the shit's gonna fall through the cracks. And
well, again, and I think there's an optimal way of running everything out there.
Right.
Problem is too many fucking people are too greedy, and when they become greedy, like the bigger corporations that are out there. Not only that, when they expand and they keep expanding, they don't know how to grow with it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to manage it once it gets so big that they can't handle it. As a privateer, you're not going to make millions off one store unless you're in that, 4% that get the right location, the right product, the right customer base, the right
employees that come in, and you're like, oh,
everything's just perfect, and they are out there.
Yeah, it totally can happen.
They definitely are out there, and you can make millions at it. But again, it's far and few in between. Now, as an owner, an operator, how many businesses are you willing to open and run that you can manage and control? 4, 5, 6. Will you make great money with those. If you do them correctly, yes. If you keep expanding and you don't know how to grow, and again, the customer service drops, the food quality drops, the management drops, whatever, it's going to affect your profits and outcome, and for some of the boards that I saw and some of the publications that I get and I read, unfortunately for years, there were managers that were sitting in the office, not really, they were doing the accountant thing. They weren't talking to the guests, whatever else. Now, a lot of times nowadays things have changed. Managers need to be out and in and whatever else. But you got to figure 10 years ago, these guys had somebody else doing their job for them. Their numbers look good. Now they moved up into these DM or RO positions.
Right.
And it's like anything else out there. You have people that work, and you have people that know how to run it, and you have people that are just riding the train.
Yep, and know how to move up. Which is a skill on its own. There was it's and I hate to admit it, man. There's a lot of, and I'm probably one of those guys who's not really that good at it. Like I'll do my job as best I can. I'll try to get those numbers to move, but ultimately, when it comes to I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass in order to move up in the company. I'm not going to lie, which is one of the things that have got me in the most trouble in pretty much in every aspect of my life. Right? It's. I don't know, but there was funny. One of the stories that, and I don't want to use people's names on here just because, like I said, I don't know what company they work for. I don't want to get them in trouble. But he was talking about how his labor was always higher than his DM's he was always kind of getting on his ass. He's like, no, this is what I need in order for this to work. And Absolutely. He's like, well, look at this person. That was his protege or the DM's protege. And he says they're always under numbers and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I guarantee you they're cutting quarters and stuff. So he's like, all right, tell you what, I'm going to switch. And he switched GMs or switched stores, right? And he's like, and the guy who was always running over on labor, according to the DM's projections, he increased sales 17% over 2 months.
Absolutely.
Because he started spending more money. His protege got fired because one of the reasons why her labor was so low is because she was making her staff work off the clock to do detail cleaning, which is unbelievably shady. And I've worked for GMs like that who they would cut specs in half. They would try to get people to work off the clock just so they can get their numbers in line. And that's the downside of bonus systems is that you take a shady, unscrupulous go get them, win attitude. And they're like, yeah, that's a person we need. In the short term, those guys can be effective, but they're going to fuck you at every chance. It's if they're going to fuck over the customers, they're going to fuck over you at some point. And either way, the weird thing is that the guy was in his post, he was like, the DM still never would admit that he was wrong. That the way that he was, and because the DM hired people that mirrored his own image. Sure. Right? And this the GM who was telling the story obviously was there before then. He was kind of grandfathered in. Right. And that seemed like a big it kind of comes back down to leadership, what we were always talking about. Now, the regional, who and this is a different post, when he was talking about, you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. And I kindly said, my perspective isn't wrong, it's a different perspective. That's the reason why we wanted to do this show.
Well, and you invest in your people, and they invest in your company or your culture, and the guests see that, or the customers, whichever you prefer. And ultimately your sales will go up. And there's a lot of owners or ROs or DMs higher ups in the market out there. And one of the things I've always believed in is you have to spend money and make money. Right. Now, that's not the case with all businesses. Right. All right? Because you don't have to spend money to make money in certain businesses. But unfortunately, in restaurant business, I believe you do. Yeah. Because you have to pay the right employee to be there. Right. And you have to pay the right team. And
this is also people that see how much money that comes in.
Oh, absolutely.
And by the way, I understand that there's completely different reasons why. Let's say if the store that you're managing is killing it, right? They're over projections every day. They're just growing. They got the great staff and everything.
I got a business for you.
Yeah, and then the staff is like, hey, we would like to, you were paying us a fair wage, but we noticed that you're making $50,000 a week and you're only paying us $12 an hour. We would like 14, please. Totally, you should be able to pay for that, but. That owner is also expanding to 7 different units later that year. So all the money that he's making from that particular store is going to all these other different projects. So when they say things like, well, I can't afford to pay you that much money, right? Because he can't, because of his decisions on what to do with that money. Now, this is where I don't know necessarily what the right answer is, because you can't tell somebody like, hey, you can't spend your money X amount away, because, like, fuck you, this is America, right? This is my business, I'll spend the money however I want.
Right.
But at the same time, like, the reason why he was able to have that money in the first place was because of these people. So it's a tricky situation. And the reason why...
It is and it's not, though.
It's always it's everything. It's what's funny about this business.
But, okay, let me give you a scenario.
Right.
10 years ago. 15 years ago,
this
company comes out, closed Sundays.
Yep.
They're a crazy Christian-based company.
They're fucking psychotic.
They're psychotic. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Chick-fil-A, all right?
Right.
They're human beings. Yes, they might be a religious-sided, whatever else. But there's not a Chick-fil-A out there that isn't overstaffed, that doesn't keep growing, and 15, 20 years, whenever they started, to now, they've done nothing but increase.
Right.
Guests are happy. Their product, and I'm sorry, their milkshakes are bomb, but majority of their products are average.
Yeah. Their breakfast needs a lot. I don't know why can't they get a fucking decent biscuit? That's what I'm wondering.
But I mean, every time you go in there, there's happy people.
Yep. There's
more than enough people working.
Always.
Maybe not in the kitchen. I don't know their whole setup.
Yeah, they keep that hidden, by the way.
Well, I mean, I know a couple people, but they pay well. They give you quality time off. They make you work hard. But when you go in there, product's always the same.
Right.
Customer service is always the same.
Yep. If they fuck up on something, they do their best
to fix it.
Yeah.
They fix it, they fix it, they fix it. I don't care if you hate them because they're a religious group or they shine one way or whatever else. But their model is right there, fast food, proven to work, by keeping the employees happy, by keeping them paid well, and by having more than enough on.
Yeah.
Now, think about, show me a restaurant out there, a sit-down restaurant that does the same thing.
Yeah, I always thought that one of the reasons why their customer service and Chick-fil-A was so great is because every GM has a 38 snub nose pointed right at the back of the new hire.
Well, but I mean...
tell them it's your pleasure to serve them. Do it.
One of my favorite places, as we've talked about before, In-N-Out Burger.
Hell yes, I can't wait. We're going to so go down there when that happens.
But same thing. Those guys have been around twice as long as Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Have always paid their employees well. Have always had more labor than they probably should or could. But again, it's a burger, it's a shake, and I love I love In-N-Out.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, but they are running a business of people, not food.
One of the things,
and they are growing.
That's absolutely right. And I think one of the things that what maybe their thought is that if we don't, even if they have too much staff when it's not at volume, that as long as they're staffed when they are at volume, they're going to make the most amount of money possible, right? And even when they're not at volume, that's an opportunity for them to keep growing because people know the convenience is going to be going, that everything's going to run smooth.
I mean, how many times you go to an In-N-Out Burger and it's like an hour line out the door wrapped around the building?
Yep.
In California before they start expanding. Now, I don't know. It's been a while. They haven't opened the one in Colorado Springs yet.
That thing is going to be so friggin' slammed.
But, I mean, how long before the presidents of the company, the operations directors, the ROs see this, realize this, and realize that if they're investing in their people and their people care about the job, the turnover drops, the quality goes up on food as well as service, and ultimately your profits will go up. But again, and no offense to any of the ROs and DMs out there, you're working for a company, you have to run their guidelines.
Right.
That's what you're paid for.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I think what the idea they were trying to get at, that, when I put up that post was, I don't think this is working, guys.
Absolutely.
I don't think this is. It's leading you down a really. I've seen, and I'll use them again because I'm still pissed off that they owe me $5,000. Is Macaroni Grill? Okay, Macaroni Grill got run into the ground because they kept cutting labor and stuff. And when I see other concepts and stuff doing the exact same thing, like we have to. I'm like, first of all, I think it's lazy leadership. Because you're not actually looking at the problem, you're just looking at it from a distance and like, all right, just do this and this and this. Like it's your solution is causing you more problems than it's worth. And and this is maybe getting a little too conspiracy theory, by the way. So I fully admit that this might be bullshit, but we've seen it happen with Toys R Us. We've seen it happen with Hostess, which these companies, they get bounced around, these concepts that gets bounced around from owner to owner, and the new owner guts them for as much as they possibly can, strains as much cash out there, splits it off, and then sells it again to somebody else who's going to do the exact same thing. And the people that suffer are the ones who are working for that concept. I've seen it, and I'm wondering, is this what they're doing? Like when I see the direction of a company, or I'm like, how are we going to survive in 10 years doing this? Oh, it's because you don't give a shit because you plan on selling this company at 5. And hopefully, and 2, just passing it down to the next person and kicking it down. And, in the meantime, everybody's suffering for the concept. And so, yeah, I don't know. I got to throw the question out there. Like, is this the best possible concept? So, one of the other concepts are the gentleman, the regional who answered the ad and stuff with a conflicting view on the post was, hey, it also takes, to make sure that you have quality managers in there that are willing to jump in when you're at volume. Yes, but if you're absolutely, that's actually no question that they need to be able to do that. But if you're building your labor on planning, and that's what your managers are going to do, I would think that that's not the best way to save money, right? I think that if you're getting, let's say, 30 tickets for every half hour that's coming in there, right, and you're staffed for that, that's cool. You're golden. If you suddenly start getting 40 tickets in that hour, once in a blue moon, obviously your manager should be jumping in there, right? But if you're thinking, all right, well, I'm going to staff to be able to cover 20 tickets for that hour because I'm going to save an extra $14 or $15 for that hour, and I'll just have a manager or salary position take up that place to make up for that. That's what my gripe is. I'm thinking that's getting too greedy. I think that you're not. Everything becomes really, really consistent because not all managers are the same. There's some front of house managers, there's back of house managers, there's
some that can cook, some that can't cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And again, it boils down to, if you have a manager that can't cook and he's jumping in the kitchen and he's burning fucking everything, but he's still selling it because so far behind, he's like, fuck it, get it out.
Let's hope they don't bitch about it.
Right. So ultimately, and nowadays, especially with the consumer base, nobody says anything until they leave the restaurant,
right.
And they drill you on Yelp, or they're like, fuck it, we're never going back there again. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, you diminishing the product, the quality, everything. You're hurting the guests, you're hurting the business. You're never going to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because back in the day when I worked for Rare Hospitality, which was Longhorn, all right, before Darden bought them out, went and opened one store. I had a regional manager, happened to be my regional manager, Perry. Great guy. Jump in. Man, it wouldn't matter if he was at the store level. If we were getting our asses kicked, he's clearing tables, he's expoing food, he was doing whatever.
He was leading, yeah.
He was leading, absolutely. We get in the training scenario, right? And I was a little hot-tempered at the time.
What, you?
I had somebody above me that told me I was fucking up. And I kind of said, okay, wait, we're going to stop for a minute. And this guy thought I was a dick.
Yeah.
Right? You're fucking up. So the head trainer pulls everybody out, all the trainers out in the back. And we start having a discussion.
Right.
Regionals out there. I told the dude, you're the one fucking up. This is how we should be running it. This is the way we should be training them. Right? It was like the president of the company, operations director, my regional, the GM of the store, and 4 other managers tell the head trainer, dude, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
You need to be listening to him because he's trying to follow what we have in place, and you're trying to fuck it up. You know? They sent him home.
Nice.
Well, to the hotel.
Right.
We go back in. My regional standing next to me on the char grill while I'm training these guys on the flat top.
Right.
As he's taking over the head guy's position.
Right.
To train these guys. Now, you're not going to find that everywhere.
Right.
You know, another place I went years later, I get a district manager that's just, we open, we're creaming. It's a steak place. He's standing at the end of the line watching everything go down.
Right.
Just yeah. No control, no nothing. So, you know, you're going to have people that know what they're doing, people that don't, in every aspect of this.
Yeah.
You know, the good guys that are out there have prominent careers, are happy doing what they're doing, are with companies that are like-minded. Now, will they stay that way? Unfortunately, in my experiences and throughout the years, I've seen companies that have been like-minded, and as soon as they start growing and they start trying to fill in positions, they get people that aren't about the culture,
right,
aren't about anything else but the paycheck, and then start fucking it. Hey, I could skim this, get my numbers looking up, and get a bigger bonus.
Yeah.
You know? And, so, you know, bonuses to me are destroying the hospitality industry.
Right. It always comes down to there's no system. Stu, shut up. Sorry, that was the phantom dog.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're a vice president or whatever else. If you can skim here, save here, whatever else, produce more, you know, I get more out of it. So fuck it.
Yeah, and it's. I think it's weird, like when they have I'm trying to formulate this the best way I can. You can't trust your system. You have to. There's no system that's foolproof where you don't have to manage the people.
No,
you know what I mean. And I think
not.
that's one of the things with the issues is like if I can't manage, let's say like we were talking about, if you're a VP and you've got 30 DOs or something like that you need to manage. Well, I'm going to trust the system, so I'll look at the system, and if I see errors in the system, that means I'm managing. I'm like, no, you still have to go in there. You need more people, and so maybe, and this might be just because I'm more of a blue collar guy. Maybe don't pay the CEO as much. Why don't you take half of that salary and you invest it in more of your infrastructure, and then you'll probably get more productivity out of it. Maybe.
Well, that's again, you know, whether
you get a different type of person
or a CEO, you still have to invest in the business that you have.
Right.
You still have to take that return and invest it. You know, there's a reason why, as an owner, if you open up your first location and you're like, oh, I'm going to make $180,000 this year. Look, douchebag, pay yourself a reasonable salary.
You're going to be eating your product basically for dinner on many occasions.
30, 40,000, you know, depending on what your business is.
Right.
Let it grow. Take that money and put it back in. Pay your staff a little bit better, because 10 years down the line, you will be still operating.
Right.
You will still have great staff, still have a great product, and maybe 10 years down the line, you know, I've invested, I've paid everything off, I'm good to go. My staff's happy. I'm paying a little bit more for them, but same token, I'm not taking $40,000 as a salary for my business. Everything's paid off. Maybe I can take 80.
Yeah.
Maybe I can take 75 and give a little bit more to product growth, research development, marketing, employment, training, whatever that case is. I mean, you got to put money back into it, you know. And it doesn't matter if you're a one-owner operator running a business like that, or if you're a CEO of a Fortune 500. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You know? Should you get paid for the job you're doing? Absolutely. Should a manager that's running a restaurant, that's producing whatever else, get paid his worth? Absolutely. But as a CEO of a big company, where work-wise, they probably do a hell of a lot less than the blue collar. Brain-wise, they do a hell of a lot more.
Absolutely.
Okay? But does that mean I should get $2 million for working that year?
Right. Show me the $2 million of what you fucking did.
Right.
Why? Because you told other people to do some other job that you didn't actually
thanks,
do?
buddy.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll give you $800,000. Maybe I'll give you $1 million.
Yeah.
But hey, I just got an increase, another $1 million bonus this year. What the dude? How? In what thought process? And I'm not a scholar by any means, but what guy comes out of fucking?
Oop, hold on 1 second.
Oh, what happened?
Did
We're
we
down.
freeze?
I don't know. Something just happened. We're down. We're paused. I have no clue. Camera streaming. We're probably all fucking it up.
No, let's see here. Let's end the live stream. Yep. Now we are.
Now
Okay.
we're back. Hey, guys. Sorry we had a little technical difficulty.
Yep.
The computer doesn't like us, and Facebook might have beat us up a little bit because we were talking.
Yeah, exactly. We started talking about CEOs, man, and how
they just clipped
That's
it.
basically
Mark said, you're done.
Exactly. Somebody from Darden called up Mark and like, hey, these guys need to be talking so much. Do they
Too much
need it?
smack. We're just going to cut this, nip it in the butt.
Yeah, Facebook, you got enough problems. You don't need to have these guys on there. Jeez, yeah, so that's what happened. But we're going to put both videos. I'll put those together, and I'll put all the stuff up on YouTube and stuff. But, yeah, now we got it.
Yeah, all right.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, so we're back up. We're going to share. Oh, you got to love it when these things happen.
Yep.
IT.
And
crap.
Right, post.
Sorry. All right, so where were we? People making millions as CEOs. What are they actually doing? Do they really need $1 million bonus? Put it back in the company.
How is bonuses actually kind of killing this particular business? And,
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, especially if you're making $2 million and they bonus you another $1 million. How many millions do you really need, guys?
Well, it's funny because we're kind of continuing on a little bit of this kind of, hey, what's up, Sonny? How you doing? What we're kind of continuing as far as this particular topic goes is because how bonuses somehow, the idea, the concept of it is great, but it also, you'll have a bunch of unscrupulous managers and people that are basically going to try to just get the bonus. They don't give a fuck about the people who are working.
Well, that's why I like, the smaller private companies or smaller corporations. Honestly, if I'm owner and I have a manager doing a great job for me, be like, hey, man, here's a bonus. Thank you for all your hard work. Not, we're going to do a bonus every quarter, and we're going to base it off all your numbers, fine-combing everything. Look, it's not Spaceballs. You're not getting no comb on the numbers.
Yeah.
All right? Somebody's doing a good job. You want to give them a bonus? Absolutely.
Yeah, hey, I noticed you didn't turn over the staff 4 times in the past quarter. Hey, you know what? Good job.
Good job. Here's $500. take somebody out to dinner, whatever. And we've discussed this before on other casts, you know. But when the bonus becomes part of the pay structure,
right? Like I'm only gonna pay you 75% of what you're worth, and I'm gonna leave that other 25% up into bonus. So I need you to work as hard as possible in order to get your full worth,
full payment.
Which that in itself, I can understand that concept. But the problem is that when we were talking about, like, if you're doing a concept where even if that unit is working really well, but you want to expand to another 8 restaurants, and suddenly the other restaurants are picking up, well, shit, I can't. What's another place to save money? Oh, yeah, those bonuses. So, you know, that 3% increase that I asked for, I'm going to need a 15% increase this next quarter, which is something that you know that those managers are not going to get.
It's hard to get a 4% increase on anything nowadays.
Right. The only way that happens is, one, that restaurant was already running like shit, and you need to get somebody new in there, and they can actually do it better. Or you set fire to your competition. That's the other way that you could get a 50% increase, is you blatantly commit a crime, possibly murder, and you burn down every Red Lobster that's going
open. You can do it while they're closed. I mean, firebombing, we do not condole.
Yeah, let's just say that right now. The disjointed food biz does not.
It does work?
Yeah. As we'll just keep winking, we're like, yes, we don't condone that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. We said it officially. Hey, what's up, Ted? But yeah, that's. But when that happens, because that happened to me at Fuddruckers, we're like, all right, we're doing
firebomb?
Yeah, firebomb. I firebombed 5 guys. No, only 3 of them got hurt.
Were they around then?
No. But but yeah, it was weird. They asked for for the third month in this quarter, they wanted like an increase in sales so much that we knew from the very beginning that we're like, we're not going to hit this. So we don't, and that wasn't just being the manager the GM that I was working with was a frickin' Jim Smith, who was an awesome dude, and I probably annoyed the shit out of this guy. And I'm sorry, Jim, I was going through a divorce at the time. I was not myself, but. Yeah, we kind of looked at this and we're like, we're getting fucked here, man.
Well, I mean, you know, if you have a business plan or any plan in that life, and they always, you know, for personal goals, they're always like, set your sights high. Look, I'm not going to have a goal now in my life to be president.
Right.
Never happened. Mm-hmm. You know, so business-wise, why would you set a goal that is so unattainable? You know what I mean?
I remember seeing that back like in the 90s and stuff when I started working in New York, and there was like these really corporate Wall Street type dudes that basically they wanted to get in the restaurant industry because it's still, the energy is still kind of the same, but they don't have to work on Wall Street anymore because it was killing them, you know, but they still kind of had that really, really aggressive psychotic mentality. And that was like the only reason. And I remember they says like, Dave, why didn't you make $1 million today? I'm like, because I don't have a bit. How would I possibly be able to make $1 million? It's like, no, you chose not to make $1 million today. That's why you didn't make $1 million.
Well, I mean, let's face it. There's
which is truth to it.
Yeah, there is. Yes,
but it's kind of like, dude, not what?
Well, there's only a couple products and services throughout the years that have come out that have seen 15, 30, 40% increase year after year.
Cocaine, I think, right? That's one of them. Yeah.
Cocaine would be big. You know, I was thinking Viagra, legal.
Right.
All right. Although now it's probably diminished. There's a lot more out on the market.
Yeah, mixed with cocaine. Yeah.
Whoever developed the wheel, they probably didn't see anything on that, but somebody's making money off of it.
Right.
You know, there's a few things out there for the first couple of years. Yes, they're going to see that increase. But for the most part, having a 30% increase or a 15% increase in sales and having all your numbers drop to, you know, like a 6% in labor, you know, or instead of running like a 32% in food costs, you're running like a 16% in food costs, you know, which sales will kind of do that. But I mean, let's face it, if the sales haven't gone up, you're running a 16% food cost, you got shit product.
Yeah, could be it. Yeah,
you know, like, okay, so there's a company that's next to me, and you know, a lot of people This place does very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sushi place.
Okay.
All right. They do all-you-can-eat sushi for $25.
All right.
All right. How do you think they make money?
By getting people not to eat
Because we
sushi?
live in Denver.
Yeah.
So it's not like we have, fresh fish right out of the ocean out there. All right. So I go in, I get like something stupid. California roll, whatever else.
Right.
I can't even remember what it was. But there was so much fucking rice in that goddamn thing. So they went into cutting their portions of fish down, increasing their portions of rice, which are, absolute fucking cheap as dirt.
Right.
And people still think they're getting a deal.
Yeah.
I feel like, and they stay busy, but I feel like every person that walks in there, I want to go, dumbass,
Yeah.
dumbass, dumbass. Look, if you're going to get Kobe beef, get Kobe beef. Don't get something that's like, you want like a grade, I don't know what, A5.
Yeah.
Don't get like an A6 or whatever else. It's not going to be the full potential,
Right.
You're getting a shit product, but they think they're getting a deal. Again, we're stupid, dumb Americans, and we love buffets and all-you-can-eats. We do.
Yeah.
I do. I like choices, whatever else. But, yeah, if I'm getting, like, sushi,
I used to work for...
I want quality, baby.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I would think. But I remember I worked for this... when I was working for U-Haul, the guy who was running the store that I worked at was all of, 23? Right? And they don't pay their GMs very much, but they usually have them live at the unit on property. So they actually give them a place to live. So they might only be making like $35,000 as a GM, but they're saving like a lot
it's
of
like
money.
Apartment places.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So one of the things, this guy was always freaking sick. And because he was this young kid who basically lived off of vodka, Red Bulls, and sushi. And I'm like, why are you still doing this? He's like, I just love it, man. I'm like,
that reminds me of my 20s.
Right? And it was so funny because there's certain things that are just kind of popular. You tell a guy that, like, listen, dude, if you want to go where all the hot chicks are, the hot chicks love sushi, so you got to like sushi. You're like, oh, okay. And that's basically what they do. And I'm like, because it's weird. You just see these trends go back and forth, right? And I would just wanted to tell this guy, like, you could eat, I don't know, he lived off of Jack in the Box and sushi and vodka and Red Bulls.
Hey, man.
And it was weird. I've never had any GM call out with diarrhea so much. Part of me was like, first of all, you're taking a crap upstairs. You can come back down to work between shits. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, like the quality thing, especially, and I'm using sushi now. But,
right.
Hey,
what's up, Jules? Hey, what up, Ted?
When
hey,
was
Amy.
last time you took a plane trip that didn't cost you less than $200?
Right.
All right, and that's just for your dumbass. So let's see. If I'm living in Nebraska and I got a sushi place, am I going to be flying in crab? Fuck no. It's imitation. It's got like 1% of crab meat in it, and people are going to go, "Oh, this place is great. It's so fresh." Look, your clientele's an idiot. You're an idiot. Why would you do that? I mean, it's just, come on, man, common sense, really. I mean, even for Denver, they're like, oh, it's a food city, and, all these places are like, there's the Buckhorn Exchange, they do the elk and whatever else, and it's the area.
Yeah, when it comes to meat, absolutely, Denver's fucking great at it.
You're surrounded by cows. Why not?
Yeah.
But you got all these places downtown, you go and they're like, Kobe beef. Dude, did you fly that in from Japan?
Yeah.
Or you're full of shit.
Right.
Because real Kobe beef for like a 20-pound box is fucking astronomical.
I would imagine, yeah, right?
As
soon as I started seeing, like, well, it's Kobe-style beef, I guess. It's the same type of cow.
So what, you add more fat to it?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Did you massage? I mean, because I think the thing with Kobe beef is that, like, they would massage the meat and everything. They would, like, lull it.
Yeah,
they would lull it into a false sense of security before they put a .38 snub nose on the back of their ear and pull the trigger. But, which, I don't know which is, I mean, it's going to die anyways. I guess it died happier,
whatever.
but... It's weird.
As long as I'm eating it.
You could taste the joy in the meat. Before his knife was brutally slow. There was another thing I wanted to ask, because I know we haven't been going live on this. We've been actually talking for a bit now, but I have this question that I want to throw out to the folks out there. Since when did tacos become magical? Because that's the thing now.
Look. You're going to get smacked. Tacos and burritos have always been magical.
I disagree.
Look. It was after getting out of the club at 4 a.m, you get a breakfast fucking burrito like this, filled with fucking everything you want in it for fucking $5. It is a magical thing. That's the same reason why Waffle House is still around. Yeah,
but nobody thinks that nobody's going to overpay for Waffle House. People overpay for tacos these days, like by a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where I was kind of going with. The other one was, and this is some, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to talk about this on stage, but like there was a couple of girls that wanted to open a taco truck in Portland, Oregon, and they got run out of business. Because a bunch of people said they were culturally appropriating Mexican food, right? So, and that's all hearsay. There might have been more to it, and I was like, that's kind of messed up and racist. But then we went to a very popular burrito place out here in Denver, and this is just where, and I say this being half Mexican, burritos. I always thought were supposed to be, I don't know, rectangular in shape, right? You freaking just, it's a rectangle.
Not if you're Taco Bell now, it looks like a stop sign.
Yeah, right. Or the place that we went to, they fold it up into basically what I call a flavor grenade, because it's a square. It's all tied up, and you take a bite into it, and it like blows up in your face. And I'm like, God damn it! This is what happens when you don't have Mexicans making burritos. You sons of bitches! You culturally appropriated this, and you fucked it up. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, tacos. So there's certain levels, and me as a cook, look, I don't care if you're white, black, whatever else. It doesn't matter. If you're a good cook and you know how to cook something, why wouldn't you go and make money? Look, if I got a white dude that can do a banging ass stir fry, dude, I'll go to him every time.
Dude, but we know that guy doesn't exist.
There's a few out there.
I'm kidding, guys.
Same. If I got a Hispanic guy that can cook good Italian, I'm gonna go to him.
Yeah, they're all working in Macaroni Grill right now.
Grandma's always gonna be the best out there. It doesn't matter what culture, what style. It just doesn't matter. If you're a good cook, it doesn't matter. You can cook anything.
Oh yeah.
Now, guy I used to work with has a place in D.C. He's British background, classically trained. Has switched his focus, I guess, over to
what up, John?
To more of a taco setting. I mean, he made this it was fucking 12-layer mole sauce, whatever. 3 fucking days it took him to make it.
Right.
Phenomenal. I'm sure it looked great. I'm sure it tasted great. But damn, dude, you putting in a taco.
Yeah.
What are you paying for that taco? $42 for a taco?
Yeah.
Look,
slow your roll there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's all handmade. I'm sure it's quality.
But, yeah.
I mean, a taco's always going to be a taco. Burrito's always going to be a burrito. Steak and eggs at the end of the night is always going to be a great thing.
That's why I want to hear things like, oh, we serve gourmet tacos. I'm like, really? Because I'm going to pay you and shut the fuck up. Like, they're just not going to do it. It's kind of like barbecue. Like when they say it's high-end barbecue, I'm like, listen, unless it's a lot of meat that I'm getting, I'm not going to pay that much for it. I don't know. It's just...
Well, I mean, it's like high-end Italian. I mean, Italian is dirt cheap, but if you make the noodles from scratch...
Right. Because that's a lot of time and effort in there.
If you make... And I don't care if it's barbecue, I don't care if it's a taco, I don't care if it's a sauce, soup, whatever else. If you make it from scratch, there's time and quality in it. Will I pay for it? Absolutely.
Right.
Will I pay $50 for a fucking taco? Fuck no. And do I care if, it's an Asian guy making me a fucking burrito? As long as it's good, man, I don't give a damn.
And I agree with that. And the idea, and I'm sorry, I'm being joking about all this stuff, guys.
Sorry, real quick.
Yes.
What's stupid is these people put these girls out of business in Oregon or wherever else. Majority of your fucking restaurants, all right, is a mixed race, creed, whatever else, back in the kitchen cooking your food anyway.
Yeah, totally.
When, I mean, come on. Rocco's not in every Olive Garden cooking up your fucking pasta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of like I know that I'm sure the protesters meant well, but I think they're doing way more harm than good.
Otherwise I'd boycott fucking Starbucks because they have nothing but teenagers or 20-year-olds working in there making a cup of coffee.
Or divorcees.
Now let's face it. Nobody realizes what coffee is until you're over the age of 30.
Right.
You've had kids.
Right.
So how am I trusting that a 20-year-old's going to make me a banging cup of coffee to keep me going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
the kid
come on, man.
They already got enough testosterone and estrogen to kill a small horse anyways. They don't need that coffee. Hola, Claudia. Hola, mama.
Don't know who you are? Hola.
That's my cousin, Claudia Sanchez, and my mom was
mama.
one. Yep.
Hi, Mom.
Hey. The thing is really messed up, and this is where, and I'm sure this will get a lot of folks that are really, progressive and upset. And it pissed me off too at one point. But I was working for Peter Piper, and they let me do my own hire once, right? Because I was still a new manager and everything, and so I hired this Caucasian fella to be our dough guy, and he completely screwed it up, and he quit within a week. Right.
See, I'm good with dough. I can
work with it too. And this is the thing that was messed up is that my regional, at the time, he kind of looked at me. He's like, "This is why you don't hire white people for the kitchen." He blatantly told me that, and I'm like, "That's really, really messed up."
If I was his boss, I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, you're fired."
Right. That guy. He was.
What was that? I saw it was years ago, but there was this Hawaiian dude.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Stella.
He was a white guy, and he was doing hibachi.
Yeah.
And he was on some show doing some competition. He was fucking phenomenal. Watching him do everything and whatever else. But, I mean, let's get down to business. When you go into a hibachi place... And you see Billy behind the hibachi.
It's totally freaking it's not cool the reaction that you have.
And that's our mental perception.
Yeah, we got to break that shit down.
If he's standing there, he could be fucking great.
Right.
But same token, we want the atmosphere. When I go to Italian, I want to see Mama.
Yeah.
When I go to Chinese, I want to see Wang back there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that states somebody else can't have the skills to do it.
Oh, absolutely, and there's still more work to be done. I always think socially, the restaurant industry is a good 20 years behind everybody else.
Well, not just the restaurant industry, the consumers.
Right.
The consumers are behind.
The restaurant still has to catch up with things like sexual harassment and how that's a bad thing. Let's see, racial profiling and how that's a bad thing.
If I go to
a lot of things we got to work on.
An Indian restaurant, and you guys are going to yell at me, but just like an Asian restaurant, if I go in there, majority of the time, it's that culture that's serving you.
Right.
Me as a dumb white American, would I like somebody that could actually speak the American language when I'm ordering and they can explain things? Absolutely, because sometimes you'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll have that one. You know what I mean? Well,
it's weird. The thing is, what I've noticed is, and this is, I think it's something that's kind of admirable because they get a lot of folks that are coming over, friends, relatives, and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So they give them a job and oh, that's great. But the thing is, just because that person is of that particular race or creed, doesn't mean they can cook, or it doesn't mean that they can
burn a mac and cheese in a heartbeat straight out of the box.
Right. Well, did you just throw this in the microwave? Did you mix it with anything? It's still in the box. What the hell?
I mean, it doesn't matter what culture, whatever else.
Yeah.
If you burn water, you burn water.
Right.
If I plant a plant and it dies constantly, but hey, I could probably go to a farm and they'd be like, hey, really? White guy? You're hired.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill your fucking crop. Dude.
Yeah, right. You should have hired me. You're racist. Why would you do that?
You know?
Why did you think I was going to do a good job with this? I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's something that you could make a clip out of any of these videos that makes us look like total bigots, but you know what?
Truth hurts.
Truth hurts. We've been working in this business for a long time, man, and like I said, this is we got a lot of things to work on, but I'm sure you've got things to work on with your job. But your job is chugging along fairly well. You got a lot of new obstacles and stuff, and way busier now than you were. You see the Twitch that's going on right now. That's not good.
No, it's a good spot. It does have growth potential. There are hiccups and speed bumps. You know, I forget what it's like to build a business for an owner, and the trials that go through it. And for all those publications that we follow, and oh, you're a manager, you're not an owner. Look, dickheads, I'm doing health inspections, building inspections, pipe inspection, construction plans, food truck fucking images, everything you could think of under the sun, team member. So look, all you dickheads out there, you don't know what you're talking about. Look, there are managers, there are owners, and there are people that do jobs for other people, whatever else. Yes, we do. Anyway.
You know what I learned is that I'm not as great a server as I thought I was.
I mean, you're back in the corporate setting with a bunch of kids.
Yep. I'm working in romper room for the most part. And it's
you
interesting.
Should put a sock on your cock and walk around the tables.
That's what I'm gonna. It might be on my last day. I'm like, all right, hope. Might as well go out swinging.
It's rough being the old dog.
Dude, and luckily there's a couple of other older servers there that have kind of gone through it. It's kind of, so I'm not like the oldest guy there, and it was funny because one of the guys that I work with used to work for Macaroni Grill, so we knew some of the same people.
Same people, right.
Yeah,
right,
so that's kind of interesting, but it's just, it's really, really strange. The way things get set up, and there's a lot of things that this the concept that I'm working for does really, really, really well, but it goes from being completely empty to completely slammed in a period of like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And that part's kind of nuts. And, you know, when I'm like, all right, well, what can we do about this? And when the answer I get is like,
millennials.
Oh, you just got to get used to it. I'm like, so I just got to get used to being shit on? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't know if I want to do that. But they're...
Yeah, I mean, I'm married.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, you know what's so strange? It was so funny is that they... I'm like, hey, I would just like to do... You know, like I could work part-time or full-time if you need it, but I would prefer part-time.
Sure.
Okay, so you've worked with me. You know, how quickly do I pick up on stuff? Fairly quickly. Fairly quickly. I'm not like, it's not like
some things a little bit slower than others.
Yeah,
no,
totally. Yeah. But like as far as the Aloha system and all the other stuff, because I've already worked.
Systems, knowing the menus. Your service is still there, so that doesn't really allocate. I mean, you go one place to another whose service is there. Unless you got to sing and dance with song.
Yeah, which I could still knock that out of the park. But
right.
But the whole thing is my mom's like, keep it clean. I'm like, Mom, it's a restaurant industry. You worked there for long enough. Come on, But so as soon as they see that, they're like, all right, we're going to put you on a couple of doubles here. And I'm like, I'm scheduled for more than 40 hours, definitely. Why are you doing this? This is not what I asked for. God damn it! Do I need to start doing a shit job for you to stop scheduling me so much?
Utilize the body, yeah.
Please don't do this to me. So there's a lot of things that I'm going back and forth, and but I will say this is that the managers are very much involved as far as even when it comes to training. The GM is super involved in his training and making sure the standards are kept. So that's super awesome.
Well, you got younger managers in there that have never really experienced anything but what they know.
Oh, and compared to the last place that we worked at, the way they do their promos is night and day, and it's really, really effective. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that's going on there. So I'm still not going to mention the concept that I work for because I'm not going to, I still might want. Clean. Yeah, I still might want to keep this job.
I'm a sailor. I swear like one, but I say please and thank you like a saint too.
There you go. I told you not to stop sweating so much. Pinche güero. I'm like, what? What was that, Mom?
I know. I know. I hear it all the time.
So, yeah, that's, I'm just joking.
Well, I mean, you got to get used to where you're at, new digs, new setup. You're not running it. You're stepping back in the role again. So you got to, watch them go through struggles.
And see where it is that I can help and what to avoid. How can I could right now I'm trying like how do I not be a problem? That first week there, dude, I apologize so much. I'm like I'm a better server than this. I swear to God, I'm not this much of a.
Weeks off. You had to get back on the bike.
I was such a drama queen, dude. I was like, it was so bad.
You were cranky.
I was getting crapped on every freaking day, man. Like since when do like? There's very rarely that I make less than $80, even on a day shift there, and that's not being the closer. That's just that's how busy the place is, and that part I really really dig. It was just really weird. Like I know that they're going to put more side work on me because I'm the new guy. I know I'm going to be taken advantage of a bit.
That's where utilizing lists.
Yeah.
Hey, where's side work chart?
Yeah. Well, it's. Gosh, what was it? They don't have a daytime dishwasher every day.
Right.
So it's one of those things where
trying to save labor.
You're going to try to save labor. I'm like, yeah, you put it on me, and now I got 10 minutes for a break on my double. So why are you so cranky? What do you think?
Well, I mean, having the cooks help out with that, whatever else.
Cooks don't, you know what? The cooks don't even do it.
Right.
They took a firm stand that they're not going to do any dishes.
Right.
And so, great.
Well, and that's where the manager's got to be like, all right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
If there's shit on the floor, you got to pick it up, dude. That's what I'm paying you for.
Right.
If it's in this house, we got to take care of it.
Yeah.
Period. Doesn't matter what you do.
Right. So my mom was saying here on the board, she's like, I love waiting on tables, and I can make a very good living. Yeah, it's so funny because I always, I'll be honest with you, Mom, I always be curious, like, what it would be like to work with my mom as a coworker, and I'm curious, like, how many times did you threaten a guest to tell them to shut up or get out? Because I have to have gotten it from somewhere. My reaction to somebody acting really crappy towards me is to go completely ballistic on them. I'm like, where did that come from? So, I don't know. I thought that would be really funny.
Yeah, that's got to be rough. I've seen my mom wait tables when I was younger, before I was in the business. And now that I think back and look at, I'd have killed her. But at the same token, we're both dudes.
Yeah.
Mamacitas are mamacitas. They get away with a hell of a lot more than we would.
Right. And then also, I think...
heck. Sorry.
That would have been really funny to watch. And I should tell you, like, 'cause she worked for this one Greek restaurant in California, and the guy, basically very boisterous. I started yelling at her, and she's like, "Go in the office now." And she's like, "You ever talk to me out there? I'm walking right now." Which I'm like, oh, okay. And then he was respectful toward her relatively after that. But yeah, that was.
Most people are when you break it down like that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But again, what women get away with in the restaurant industry and what men get away with in the restaurant industry is very different.
Right, but and at the same time, they also put up with a completely different level of shit than we do.
And nobody wants to think of their mothers as having that selective, But I mean, I don't look at my mom this way, but I'm sure she was hot to somebody. I mean, hey. But yeah, so that's the way it goes.
He's like, only if I know that. Oh, gosh, yeah, that's that would have been
all bad juju.
Right.
Moving on.
Oh gosh. So let's start wrapping this up. So what did we cover so far? We were talking about in the first part of
being greedy.
Not being greedy as far as like the point of diminishing returns of running labor at a lower level. There's got to be a better way to do it. I actually welcome anybody who actually is a regional or a DM. If you want to come on the show and stuff, we'll just use your voice. You don't have to use your face. We won't use your real name if you don't want to. We won't say the company that you work for because we know we want your thoughts and opinions.
We want your thoughts and opinions.
But we don't want you to get in trouble for those things. So we could totally do that. We'll find a way to get that done. Just hit us up at on Twitter at DFBpod or email us at thedfbpod@gmail.
What else we go over?
Let's see. Racism.
In the restaurant industry.
How racist we are.
How racist we are.
When it comes
food
to
is your product, but your labor is your product as well.
Exactly. Like what Bill Sandwig said on a previous episode, which, man, I really love that episode.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
That dude is...
I love meeting and talking with like-minded people, and of course, who doesn't?
Right.
But it's harder to find in restaurants and the good ones are always spread out. We're never in one area.
Yeah. But when he said, he's like, I think companies tend to look at labor as an expense rather than an investment.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like, wow, that was pretty profound. So
smart man right there.
Very, very, very smart. Let's see the other thing that we were really glad. We were curious, but I'm glad that we actually never watched our moms work when they were serving, because that probably would have been frightening. So.
And we're trying the whole Facebook thing. Sorry about the interruption. We had technical difficulties. We'll see if we can nail it down and get it right for next one. Mm-hmm. We will be posting these on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Our other various pages, SoundClouds, whatever else. Are we still doing SoundCloud?
Yeah, I'm still putting the audios up there because we still get actually a lot of...
So just because we're on here doesn't mean we're going to not post them and have them on the other pages and stuff.
Right.
So if you... work a lot, like now that we have jobs, are working, you can go back and listen to it, your convenience, whatever else. Like, share, post. Anything else?
Yeah. Oh, don't forget to, because this one I'm streaming on my main page, but go to, there is a page for this on Facebook, the Disjointed Food Biz with Thor and Dave. Give that a like, please, so that way once we get up to a certain level of that, then we can actually just friends. Yeah, we could just stream it just from that instead of having to go.
Restaurant people, non-restaurant people. We're not. I know we said we were racist, but we're really not.
No, we're not. So yeah, I know. I'm sure somebody like, you know what? Just the fact that he said that you're not racist means this is totally racist. Only a racist would say something like that. Racist. So yeah, either way.
Our philosophy is we don't care what color, race, creed.
Mm-hmm.
What it boils down to is, if you're an asshole, sorry, Ma, you're an asshole. Sorry, Ma.
We're using the asshole word again. She's like, stop spending so much, I tell you this. I didn't raise you like that. And what, to swear in English? Yeah, no, just kidding.
All right, clocking out, guys. I got a lot of work to do. Yep. So we'll see you later. Have a great one. Enjoy. And don't do anything we weren't to.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't firebomb the Five Guys. Bye. See ya.